Welcome back, everybody, to the Barely Breathing podcast. Today we have Santiago, Castillo, TikTok comedian, model, German Shepherd boy, and maybe even a therapist. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing great. I wanted to ask, my first question of all is, you've compared yourself to Henry Cavill and Bowlby from Jimmy Neutron. Who do you think you look closer to? Because I thought that was hilarious.
Oh man. Oh wow. Yeah, that's really old. That's so funny. I guess it depends on my hairdo. Like either one looks pretty similar to me, depending on how I do my hair. That's so funny you mentioned that. That's like 2018.
I thought that was pretty hilarious. But
Yeah.
your account is pretty amazing. Like you have tons of followers. Your viewers absolutely adore you. I don't know.
I appreciate that. No, I most of the time it feels like they do like me, but sometimes it can get tricky there.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so big question first.
Mhm.
Let's start off with we've already had some of your fellow German Shepherds on this podcast, but why did you decide to join? Like, what made you like, oh, I want to join? What does it mean to you? Kind of all that.
Well, I kind of he this I think Ben was the one that contacted me, or maybe it was Max. I hope I'm getting their names right. I'm horrible with names. If you guys,
No worries. I'm terrible with names.
it's funny because like you guys might look back and be like, "There's no Ben in the house. What is he talking about?" But yeah, they hit me up and they were like, "It's this really fun group account where there's no expectations. You just kind of be you. You just kind of be like a kind of goofy, dark-haired guy." And yeah, I was like, that sounds great. Like, it sounds like very low pressure, a new platform where I can express myself differently than my main account. Like, it sounds like fun, like stress relieving, kind of fun.
Sounds pretty awesome. It seems like the only rule is don't dye your hair.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Just stay dark
yeah.
haired. Yeah. What got you into TikTok in the first place? You said you deleted all your old accounts and made new ones, like to start creating. What like caused you to do that? What prompted that?
Yeah, I mean, in middle school, I was really obsessed with social media, and towards the end of my middle school like days, like eighth grade, I had a bunch of fake followers. Like my Instagram had like maybe I don't know 4,000 followers, but they were all fake. And I came to a point where I really hated what I was doing. I was so obsessed with these numbers, and then I deleted all of my social media because I was kind of disgusted in what I was doing, and I started again. Not even to do anything. I just to communicate with others. Like Instagram is pretty common. Like you need it for like school and stuff like that nowadays. So I just restarted all of my accounts, but with Santiago Armando instead of Santiago Castillo. And TikTok specifically, I was kind of in a weird place mentally when I first started. Like I wasn't too happy with myself because my brother, like my twin brother, was getting a lot of attention for all like it can be the good reasons or the bad reasons, depends on how you see it. And he was getting in a lot of trouble. So like it was just kind of a weird time at home, like a weird home dynamic. So I would get on TikTok, put in my earbuds, and just start making some like pretty dumb stuff. And in some of them, like that's why most of them have audio. And I only started doing like my original audio way later on because there was like shouting in the background. Like that's why a lot of them I had headphones on because it was like shouting and stuff in the background. But yeah, I started and it's been really fun. It wasn't to get famous though. A lot of people ask me like, what'd you do to get famous? And I was like, it wasn't to do that. It was just to kind of escape the little reality.
I get that. Well, one of the things that I really like about your content, that I find like different than a lot of others, is you kind of like make your own jokes. Like I think of you kind of as like a comedian. I don't know if you consider yourself a comedian, but you take these sounds and you add your whole like a whole new meaning to them, and
Mhm.
overall it's just really funny. And I think that's a unique thing, especially with nowadays everyone's just recording and just reparroting the same information, but you're creating your own jokes. Do you just like walk around the house and just something pops in your head? Like, what's your creative process?
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I used to consider myself a like really funny guy, but then I started doing POVs and I kind of like strained off of that. But now I'm trying to get back into it. So I appreciate you mentioning the comedy stuff. But my creative process is literally just maybe a conversation with a friend or scrolling through a TikTok and I see like a word, and the word can be paired with so many other things. Like the word out of context within that song is extremely hilarious. So I'll just take that word and just work around that one specific word. So a couple of my TikToks, you see myself not following the little like audio at all until like the last little bit where the punchline is
Yeah,
without, you know.
that's pretty
Yeah.
creative, pretty
Yeah.
unique for the platform.
Yeah, I mean, I like, I really, I look up to so many other creators to take it a step further. Like, there's this kid Chris. I don't know if you guys know him. He like puts a banana costume all the time, or like Chris O'Dalla, or like Chris. I forgot his name. Chris something. He like does so many, like he makes his own audio. Sometimes he just does like Vine type of stuff, and I love it. And so I just try to, try to take a little bit from that and put my own little twist on it.
Yeah, makes sense. Did you were you like active in making vines per se when Vine was big or no?
I was 10, so no, I didn't really have a phone. I was born in Venezuela, and then I moved to Peru and then here. So I didn't really have, like, I watched so many Vines. I didn't know what they were saying because I spoke Spanish. I had no idea, but I watched them all the time. Like I loved how energetic they were, but I never like I have a couple little short videos that were kind of like my Vines, but they never went anywhere. And I just kind of, it was just, yeah, it was just, yeah, they're fun.
How did you feel when your TikTok started blowing up? Like when you started gaining viewership, attention, followers, kind of like that. Like what did that open multiple doors for you? Was it negative, positive responses, things like that?
It's definitely a mix. Like in my case, it has been 90% great. Like it has been, everything has just been, it's just the right amount of followers where I'm like really, really happy with what it's become. And I, very rarely get recognized on the street. So it's that little sweet spot, but it's not enough for me to end up in like TikTok room if I like mess up, or like everybody expose me, because I bet people have tried to expose me, but nobody cares because it's just not. And so
You're in
it's
that
not.
sweet spot.
Yeah, it's not that like little sweet spot where I can post things, and then sometimes they get liked, sometimes they don't. But
That's a good way to look at it. Don't end
yeah,
up in TikTok room.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just when I started gaining followers, I didn't. It was surreal. Like I wasn't really registering how to. A lot of my friends were telling me, "Yo, you have to you have to get a manager. You have to monetize this. You'll make so much money. You'll become the next Logan Paul." And I didn't look at it that way. Like I was just kind of like, that sounds amazing. I love money, but like I don't is to be my ticket to do that. Even it might be, but I just love making videos for what they are, not for the money.
Yeah, I get that. Also, like you've been pretty like positive for social justice and all that. It's really awesome to see. Like you've talked about like trans activism, other activism, and it's just one of those things that just I don't know, just really nice to see on the platform. Plus, I mean, all your fans absolutely adore you. Like, some people comment. One of my favorite comments was, "My life feels personally attacked with how cute he is."
That's really sweet. It's super funny when people like in marriages watch my stuff, because that's significant, like, not significantly, but like people that are older than me, I don't feel like I'm entertaining enough to entertain people like that, but sometimes they do, and it's really funny. Yeah, I wish I could do more with the activism stuff. I wish I would read more and I was more informed. I mean, with all that kind of stuff, when like the BLM movement was going on, I wanted to talk way more about it, but I was gonna put my foot in my mouth. Like I was gonna say the wrong thing inevitably. So I put a bunch of petitions in my bio, and I looked at, I asked a bunch of my friends what I should do, what I should read, how do I stay informed, and just trying to do the bare minimum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's some pretty good stuff. That's honestly really cool that you realized what kind of viewership you had and understood that you need to put something out there to show like that it's important to take action.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of the things I've seen with creators is that, so I'm 17, and a lot of the kids, they're kids. Like there's some kids that are 16 or 14 with a big platform, and they want them to form these big opinions and explain their like what they should do. But they haven't even finished high school. How are they going to form an opinion that pleases everybody or the right thing? We don't know yet. You know what I mean? So it's those expectations have been really hard. But like I said, in my experience, it has all been just fine. Like it has just been great. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on from that, like to kind of just like school in general. So you're in high school right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it your junior or your senior year?
I'm an old junior. Yeah, I'm a junior.
I was the
Old
oldest in
junior.
my grade. I was born in September, so I'm always like the
Yeah.
oldest, right on the cutoff.
I'm June, so it's just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It's better though, because like you get to drive first, you know. You just
No, you just become the taxi of everybody. Like you just have so much power. Just gonna be like, you want to go somewhere? Good for you.
Yeah, my brother's living in that right now. He's also an old junior. So
plus you're better at sports too, because like you're bigger. I don't know. That's my experience.
No, I was way bigger than my peers, and then everybody caught up to me, and I was the short one. But that's
That's how it goes.
So going off of like how many followers you have compared to some of the other members in the group and just kind of like what you want to do in the future, are you like thinking like, oh, education is a priority, I'm going to keep doing that? Or if the opportunity presented itself, would you like follow more of a media kind of path?
That's a great question because I'm really thinking that over right now. Like I'm definitely high school. I'm trying to keep my straight A's. I'm trying to, because I'm basically a straight A student. Sometimes I get a couple of B's, but trying to finish high school the best I can so that I can go to college, so that I can go to the good colleges,
Yeah.
But definitely if something came up where it seemed like it could open a huge door for me, and a couple of things have like dwindled in front of me, but nothing has really like wowed me to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing college, because college, like in my household, is a really important thing. And if I'm not doing it, I better be doing something pretty awesome, So that's a pending question. I'll let you know soon. Like, yeah.
Well, it's good that you have some time though, and you could always be doing TikToks in college as well. It's not like the end all be all, but it's good that you got some time to think about it. But another great thing with your TikToks, like pretty relatable. Do you skateboard? You were talking about that in one of your.
I do. I'm actually at the skate park right now. You guys caught me in the middle of I don't know why I brought this out. You caught me in the middle of a skating session. That's what the rocket was before.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I'm a big rip sticker. I don't know if you've ever rip sticked, but
yeah, it's great.
It's just so much fun. Those things like that.
Yeah, it's like I remember being like little. Did you ever take turns with like your neighbors or whatever?
Oh my God, yeah, of course.
You're like, hey, it's great.
We got all in my neighborhood. We got all the kids on the block. We were all like rip sticking. We just go around the whole block in circles for hours.
Yeah. This one kid brought a ripstick to the skate park. I tried it after a bunch of years of not doing it, and I like fell so many times. I tried it on the ramp. Yeah, it was.
How decked out is your skateboard? Come on, like
it's all right. I mean, I'm pretty new at it. It's been like 4 to 5 months, so it's just I can try to flip the camera. Okay, let's see.
That's no
Yeah, this is complicated, but yeah, it's all right. It is what it is.
I also started around in like August, skateboarding, but I decked it out fully. Just
really?
threw stuff on it.
Yeah, I was pretty cheap with my I wasn't cheap, but I was like, I went to a skate shop because like I saw like I have my friend Tony. He was saying how like you have to get it from like a local skate shop. You have to get it from local. I go to the local skate shop, and the cheapest board I see is like $69, and I'm like, what? So then I grab like there's this in the corner. There's like these other boards, and I'm like, what's wrong with them? And there's like nothing. And they're like $40. I'm like, okay, I'll get that. And then everything else is like $100 and up. So I go to like Tilly's and get everything else. But like I ran out of money so quick.
Wait, where did you find such cheap boards? My board was so expensive for no reason.
Really? I mean, I'm talking about like the deck, not the full board.
Okay, yeah. See, my whole board with like the wheels and the rims and everything was like 120.
Yeah. Mine was like 150, but that was just because I spent so much on the deck. Yeah.
No, yeah, makes sense. No, that's wild though. That's cool though that you've like kept going and you're working and skate parks and
Yeah.
everything like that.
So I kind of had to pick it up sometime. Like, yeah, my twin, my older brother, and my dad used to do competitions when I was little. And so we would go to the skate park when I was little, and I would just kind of sit there because I didn't want to get hurt.
Okay.
And yeah, I was just too scared. And recently I just started skating, and pretty soon I'll get some skating TikToks. People keep asking for them and I'm like ashamed, but pretty soon they're coming.
Oh,
I'll be looking forward to that. I love things like that. It's a good way to get out anyway and get some exercise and just have some
Yeah.
fun.
Outside, it's COVID friendly. I can stay away from everybody, you know. It's a good way to exercise.
Harry, it's probably easier in Florida, you know, where they don't have
yeah.
as much snow and ice.
Snow and ice. That's
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah.
Honestly. What is it like having a twin?
Oh, it's weird. It's so mine was fraternal, so he doesn't look like me. And it's just like having a dude, like it's like having a clone be slightly different than you, because everything you guys do, people will compare it. Like there's nothing that you do that won't be compared to your brother. So growing up, I was always like pretty bad at sports until pretty recently. I was pretty bad at basketball, soccer, skateboarding, and he was really good at it. So like every time he would do something, everybody would look at me and be like, "Why can't you do that?"
Oh no.
I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, now it's all good. It's just, and now like we're buddies. Like it used to be, we were pretty competitive, but like now he's up in Canada, and like we're pretty good buddies now. Like we're pretty good friends.
Who's older?
He is by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
One of my best friends, he's a fraternal twin. He's actually the sound guy. You met him. It was a big thing about like who's older and his competition.
Yeah, always growing up, it was like I'm 4 minutes older, so chill out.
4 minutes.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. So you moved to America? How was that? That's pretty insane.
That was I moved when I moved 2014, so I was 10 turning 11, you know.
Wow.
And it was kids were pretty mean, honestly. Like so, there was this one kid, so most of them were pretty mean about the accent thing, and like because you can't have an argument with an accent with like little kids, you know. Like when you're older, people take you serious, but with an accent, there's no way to sound serious, to be like, you know what I mean? Like there's absolutely no way. So I
just realized how accurate that is.
Yeah, there's no. So it was pretty rough for the most part. And then there was this one kid called Joseph, because we called him. It was Joseph. Shout out to Joseph. I was kind of sitting there. They just switched my class to this other one away from my twin brother. And I was kind of sitting there waiting for the class to come up. And the class kind of sees me like I'm not an animal, but like kind of like a different species. And I'm just kind of sitting there. What up? And then this one kid, like just one of them strays off. Joseph goes and is like, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" And then like that just took all this.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just so now like in school. I used to do this a lot. I got embarrassed a bunch of times, but I would do that a lot when I would see somebody like sit on their own. I would try to be like, "Hey, what's your name? Like, are you new here?" and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's good though.
Yeah, most of the time people are just sitting alone in high school. People like to sit alone, so
this is true.
Yeah, but like, hey, are you new here? He's like, no, we have chemistry together. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh no. Oh my.
Yeah.
But your accent seems to have died down a bit for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can hear it from time to time, but
yeah, I was gonna ask way in the beginning because I heard it and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I wonder what accent it is. No, for sure. How did you like Florida? Like compared to like in general, like Florida as in like Florida.
In general, Florida. Hey, so Florida, it's actually the closest thing to where I'm from, and that is absolutely insane. But I love it. Like, I'm in St. Petersburg, which is like near Tampa, and it kind of looks like this town kind of looks like the town from Cars. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It looks like a small town, but it has like a nice downtown and some like cool restaurants. Like just Florida is a different breed. Like Florida is just different, and I've liked it so far. As much as I can complain about it, it's been a really fun ride here.
I'm a little jealous about
Florida's
the
too
weather.
hot for me. I
No,
was
I'm
visiting a
jealous about it.
college. No. I went to visit a college down there, and it was like in the springtime, and it was already too hot for me.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was did I woke up, I was on FaceTime with my friend from Pittsburgh, and I told her, I was like, oh my God, it's 57. It's gonna be so cold. And she just started like getting on. Yeah, she had that exact same reaction. She was like, what? She called her mom over. She's like, hey, tell her what you just said. And I was like, it's 57. It's freezing. She was like, what are you talking about?
My
That's just,
perfect weather is high 50s, low
yeah.
60s. That's
No
the
way.
Oh,
best weather to me.
I want 75 and windy.
75 and windy. 75 and windy is nice. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
yeah. I'm like sunny, maybe 70 flat, like how it was today.
Hmm.
I think I'm getting too used to the cold.
Oh,
It's just not cold for me anymore, and we're at 30 degrees right now, and that just
oh,
doesn't feel
oh,
cold.
That's
geez.
ridiculous. I'm
Yeah.
freezing always. It's just always cold. I'm very jealous.
Yeah.
Like, also the beaches, like the beaches down there is pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the beaches are pretty nice. They get crowded pretty easily. Like I live, I don't know, 15 minutes from the beach, which is nice, but I'm so hesitant to go because every
Yeah.
time
Oh,
I know every time is like the ride there is 15 minutes, but it's 2 hours to find parking, and then
Ugh.
like 12, I don't know, like fucking
you just
$12.
gotta walk.
That's true. Gotta walk there. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
close enough. Just
Yeah.
take a trip. Just take a hike.
So
Just-
what do your friends and families think about this? Because your like TikTok career, social media endeavors.
My mother was the type of woman that, I mean, she's still alive. I love her. No, she's the type of woman that would tell me like everything you post is gonna be out there forever. Don't post anything that'll put us in danger. Don't post anything political. Don't post anything. And I did. So
Yeah, that's the same with mine.
so she was at first she was kind of like hesitant, but as soon as she saw how much fun I was having with it, she's like, okay, go have fun. And the social aspect of it, as soon as I started getting more followers, I started having less friends. And that isn't because they like back away. I think it's just like a byproduct of me focusing more on it, which isn't on purpose. Like it's not like this is my life, my whole life, because I want to have a healthy social and academic life. But sometimes that's the way it goes. Like if you ask any creator, once they get past like 500K, they start like having maybe 2 close friends from their hometown and like 500 whatever, like online friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Socially, it was weird because everybody acts like they know me and stuff like that, and they do for sure. Like I've known you for, I don't know, like 3 years since middle school or whatever, but you have no idea what I'm like now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so it's very interesting to see that, and I'm never like, oh, these guys are treating me different because of my clout, because it's not like that. People do treat you a tiny bit different. Not even on purpose, maybe not even on purpose, but you do notice how different people treat you with like a little bit of a following, or if you don't have a following at all.
But on the other end, it seems like you've met the German Shepherd boys, and some of the other ones we've talked to have said like it's a really cool network. Like you get to meet really cool people, and
Yeah, you get to meet really good people. And whenever you do meet people in person, you only need to know one guy, and then the whole party's cool. Because TikTokers are a very weird breed, you know. So I remember I went to like a party in Playlist. This was way before COVID. I haven't gone to any parties during COVID. But I went to one party. I knew one single, like a couple of my friends brought me. I knew one person there, and I was just cooling with like, I recognized like 4 people. I was kind of geeking out a little bit. I wasn't saying anything.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how many followers you had. You know, one person, they'll treat you like family. Like it's just really nice. Everybody knows how like it can be a little bit stressful. You get a little full of yourself sometimes, and then your friends kind of bring you down. Like you're taking yourself too seriously, man. You just gotta calm down. You know what I mean?
They ground you.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's just people that like go through the same thing, and then you realize that like, dude, you're just having fun. You're playing around. Like, don't be so stressed.
Yeah. If you had to kind of think back and like pick out of the 3 places you've lived per se, like Florida, and then you said Peru and Venezuela.
Mhm.
How would you like rank them, like in order?
So Venezuela has the most crimes per capita. So I gotta give that. I mean, in the world, and or it's the second one in the world. It's like somewhere
Oh
up there.
no.
Yeah, as of like 2017, it's been like this. So that one I have to be like, maybe a 3 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
Peru, they were pretty cool. The food is great. The food is a 10 out of 10. The
That's
people,
awesome.
yeah, the food is great. The people sometimes they can be very classist,
Mm.
and that includes being from Venezuela, they knew. I don't know. There was some weird racism because I looked like them, like you know what I mean. Like my brothers kind of looked white, like they looked super white, green eyes, blonde hair. They looked great. I looked like this all the time. I was a little tanner then, and they were like super weirdly discriminatory towards me. And
Mm.
we looked the same. We just sounded a little bit different. It was just very interesting. So that one I gotta give, I don't know, like a 5 out of 10. The US, some of them can be poo-poo heads, but like they'll
Yeah.
call, you know what I mean?
I mean, they do have the Florida man headlines for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. But US, like the US, Florida in general, like people will once they learn, like once they're willing to learn. They're not traditional. They're willing to be like, this guy looks kind of funny, like he's funny looking and he sounds funny, but like he has a point,
Yeah.
Well, it seems like a lot of your fans are like swooning over you, like they're super into you. Are
Yeah.
they like? I bet people are hitting you up all the time
Oh my
nowadays.
God.
It's been a dry season. I'm not gonna lie now. And I'm a lot more closed off than I was before, just because you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm 17 and I'm checking IDs.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? When people like try to DM me or something, I'm
You have to
checking.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not because it's illegal or anything. It's just sometimes like, you never know. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. What's the weirdest one of the just the strangest DMs you've gotten? It could be like the grossest, the
Mm,
scariest, just the
The
weirdest,
scariest. Oof.
man.
kinkiest.
Yeah. Oh, they get most of them are pretty lighthearted. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's most of my like the girl TikTokers get the creepiest DMs
Yeah.
from other girls. I mean, sometimes from guys. A lot of the guys are creeps, but most of the weird, like really creative are from girls texting other girls. But
Really?
yeah. I mean, that I've seen. Like a lot of my friends show me their DMs, and they're not like weird. They're just really creative, and I feel like just got the creative bone sometimes.
I think I've never gotten a weird one from a girl. I think most of them
No,
come from guys. The creepy ones are definitely from the dudes.
It's
interesting.
unfortunate.
No,
From girls, I get them from like little girls, and they're like, "Oh, I love your channel," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
That's really yeah. I feel like no, like a girl's DM might look like a full story about a scenario, and
Yeah.
guys, let me suck your toes. You know what I mean? The most entertaining one is the girls, and it's the weirdest one, but it's not in a bad way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's interesting.
Yeah, but my
So-
weirdest one was, oh man, I had to be this one. I was like 15, and this one 23-year-old woman, like 25-year-old woman. Like I have aunts that are her age, were like trying to hit my line, and I indulged her. I wanted to see how far she'd go, and she was like, "Age is just a number," and stuff like that. And I was like, "Dude, that's so weird. Like you're weird. You're a creep."
That's
Oh my.
unfortunate.
We spoke Travis mentioned this, but have you gotten a lot of penises as well in your DMs? Like, is it important?
Oh my goodness.
Surprisingly enough, not a lot of penises. I find a lot of guy butts.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Guy butts, and like sometimes, like they look like girls a lot of the time.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's very interesting.
Well, bringing it back to your TikTok.
Oh my God.
That is pretty crazy. But in your TikTok, I am a fan of the contacts. You put on these blue contacts. What's that about?
So TDDI, shout out to them. They send me this package. They send everybody. If you ask any TikToker above actually ask any TikToker that like has a bit of a following. They'll tell you, yeah, it's a CDI. I've worked with them. You know, they'll send you what's it called, contacts. They send everybody contacts. They send them out like candy. And so they sent me these contacts. The blue one that you guys see all the time. I put it on and I hated it, and so I put it back in, but I lost one.
That's what we always see with the one.
Yeah, I lost one, and so then I have these other ones. I had these other ones that I loved because they weren't so strong, like it wasn't so piercing. Because two like super piercing looked horrible, and so then I had these other ones that were just blue, and I made like 5 videos with like just the 2 nice blue ones, and then I lost one of the blue ones as well. I'm like, God damn it. And then I find the like super gray blue one, and I put that one on, and it looks great. Like I love the way, it was just like really like light brown and then really like light blue.
That is pretty crazy.
It was really fun. Like I still sometimes put it on, but I feel like an imposter. Like after it's just so many people hit me up and they're like, oh my God, my little sister had heterochromia and she finds you to be like a great
Role model.
a great role model. And I'm like, oh
Oh
man.
no.
One of my good friends back at school, she has that. One of her eyes is blue, one of them is brown.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know what the connotations of that mutation is. I would think that you just look amazing all the time, but
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
know.
sick.
I feel like it looks cool.
like I don't know what the struggles are, but a lot of people have gotten offended, so I've kind of slowed down that train, and I've got a bunch of TikToks saying how like, yeah, it's fake, it's a fake contact. It's like, I promise. Yeah.
I think the most I've gotten for my green contacts is just some of my friends going, did you change your eye color? Did you always have green eyes? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I try to like trip them up and be like, I didn't change my eye color. Are you okay? Are you seeing things?
I would say a lot of my friends didn't catch on that there was a contact because for some reason they forget the contacts exist. But I would say I just bleached it. It was just a bleach.
I just bleached it. Oh, I told someone I got my eyeballs replaced.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
I have said that to someone that I got them replaced.
That's insane. Who are these people who are like, oh, you can
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Important question though. Since you are a member of the German Shepherds, we have to ask, because we've asked all the others, what type of dog do you think we are? Or like I am, what type of dog is Harry? Like,
Oh wow. Okay. Harry, you're a beetle.
I'm a beagle?
A beagle. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think beagle. That's similar to what you got last time, right?
That's similar to what I got last time. Maybe it was a beagle last time.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 2 for 2 right now, so it's all up to you. Like,
oh my God. Did somebody say a lab for you?
No one said a lab for
me.
But
I can see the lab.
I can see a lab, but
I had this beautiful brown lab, and she would just lounge around all day. And I kind of feel like, because their labs are like notoriously like really energetic, but she was really lazy, and I love that about her. So I kind of see you as like a lab that could be energetic, but could also just kind of plop down.
Wow, that described me. A lazy energetic is actually
I think that's
basically accurate. That is spot on. Yeah, no. I was hoping to go 3 for 3, build up my German Shepherd resume.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's so fun. I didn't even think about that.
You broke the streak.
Dang it.
That's okay. But I don't know. Thank you for coming on so much. Like, this has been a great time talking to you. You're so down to earth.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's been really fun. Yeah.
And to all those listening, if you want to follow him on TikTok at Santiago_Armando. We'll add it in the description. You're on Twitch and you're on Cameo, right?
Yeah.
You're on Cameo. Whoa.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And follow him on Instagram. You're almost near 70,000. Let's get you to 70,000.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for listening, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.